So I don't even get through my process, and so what I do leading up to getting on like the Rainbow Road, basically I'm in the sacred space of my heart, and there's an area in the sacred space of my heart that I actually go through. I sit down and allow the healing energies to move through me, through the chakras, to kind of help balance any emotions or anything I may be carrying into the process. So, and it typically goes from the root red all the way up to the crown, which is the lilac, and I get to the throat chakra, and as I get to the throat chakra, then I get propelled out of this chair and I get thrown up to the Rainbow Road, and typically that happens at the very end. So it did this at the throat chakra, and then when I go to the Rainbow Road, it's typically all of the colors of the rainbow again, harmonizing my body and my energies. And when I was in the Rainbow Road, it actually only was blue again. So again, throat chakra energy. So my body turns into a fish, and I start swimming upstream. And I realize that it's really hard. I'm like fighting the current to try and swim upstream. And then I get to this barrage, how do you say that? I get to this block, basically, like a salmon, and I'm trying to jump up to this higher pool, and I can't jump up to this higher pool. So instantly in my head, I get that I'm in the throat chakra energy, and I'm trying to tap into the third eye chakra energy, and I just can't do that. And so as soon as I have that realization, I actually jump up into the pool that's waiting above. And as I do that, I get the sense of my body back. And now I'm propelled onto one of those flowers that like grow in the fields and the little kids will pick, and they're all those little sea pods. They look like little fairy wings, and you hold it up to your mouth and blow, and all the little feather dusters all spread out and plant their seeds, right? So that was the little flower, or it was a huge flower that I get propelled up into. And so this is, now I'm in your third eye. And so it's just this huge center orb of this flower with all its little sea pods, those little feathery things, and basically I'm guided to pick one and like float away, and I'm just like drifting on the air currents and floating away. And so I grab one, and I'm, my body's small enough that I'm able to ride it kind of like an umbrella, and I get carried away, and I get flown to what appears to be your Akashic records. And so it's your Akashic records. It's basically, I feel like I'm in like Sydney, Australia. It's almost like it's the opera house, but it wasn't. It was a huge like houseboat that was floating on water, and there was this big like wooden planked dock to get there. So I fly right up to the front of the door, and as I land, I reach for the door handle, and I get let right in, and I walk in, and there's like 2 or 3 feet of water inside of this room that's your records. And I'm going, oh no, what's going on here? So there's like water, and there's a person in there with a bucket, and it looks at first as if they're trying to take the water and throw it out. So I'm like panicked almost. I'm like, okay, well, what are we supposed to be doing? So I act as if I'm going to start helping to try and fish out some of this water, and then instantly I get that we're actually trying to fill it. And so as soon as I get that realization, the entire records fills with water, and we go plummeting down towards the bottom of the ocean. And so it's completely full, and I'm almost in fear because now we're submerged in water, and it's just water all in these records. And as soon as we hit the bottom and we're grounded, actually everything drains out, everything is pristine, and your higher self, comes down from the top of this building, and in this like the most beautiful ethereal voice I've ever heard for a higher self just starts to speak to me and says, do you know what's happening? Like you were testing me. And so I said, well, I think I know what's happening. And so she made me explain myself. So what I understood to be happening was that you're so much in the throat chakra right now, in this learning and gaining wisdom and seeking knowledge mode, in this creative expression and learning how to experience yourself and express this to the world. And desperately trying to move up to this clairvoyance, this clarity and sight over complete kind of authority with your spirituality, and having that instant sight and connection and trust in what's going on around you. And so basically what I got was to move up into the third eye chakra, and to own this energy and to make this transition, which this is what the whole process was. It's, I think your guides, your higher self wants you to make this transition into the throat, or from the throat chakra into the third eye chakra. I feel like there's this energy surge that's moving for you to start to open the third eye chakra, and basically you have to allow the energy to take you over. And for whatever reason, there was this fear of, and I go back to that flower that you blow, and I was supposed to pick just one thing. It's like pick that one thing and allow it to take you over. Allow that spiritual energy to take you over, fill you up, and then ground into that knowing, into that core belief system. And I know you, I know this person, so I get the feeling that they want you to pick something and just go with it. Ground yourself in that energy. Let it completely take you over, and just submerge yourself into this energy and let it fill every ounce of your being. And I feel like that's what propels you into the third eye chakra, and that's what opens your third eye chakra for clairvoyance, clear sight, for literally, I feel like you can open your eyes and see into the fifth dimension if you allow this spiritual energy to take you over in the physical world. And so I asked if there was anything else that this person needed to know, and they said, you're exactly where you need to be. Everything you've done and everything that's led you up to this point is exactly what they hope from you, and exactly what you need. And they just want you to it's almost like dive into the energy that you have and allow it to become you. I hope that makes sense. So as soon as you allow that to take over you and to fill your being, I feel like you have this next bump in the kundalini, and it literally shoots through you, and you get this opening, and you probably get, I assume you would probably get lightheaded and get that like surge of energy as soon as you pick that spiritual kind of philosophy that you're going to dive into, and just allow it to become you and ground into the core of your being. So you need to pull this energy, or whatever that spiritual practice is, you need to start doing it from the root chakra daily. So like live out that spiritual process, whatever this one is that you connect mostly to, that's deepest seated in your being. Do that spiritual process every day, and then everything else that you've dabbled in and learned, I think it's just going to complement that one singular process that you're going to choose to live and be in every day. So with light and love.